These fake AI influencers make $7.6 million from a 6-hour live. And here's how you can too. Or you can just completely ignore this YouTube video if you're just not interested. But I know for me, when I saw 7.6 million, I was like, let's sign me up. Oh, I should throw to you, Quonda. My bad, girl.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. If you're watching a week replay, welcome in. Thank you for joining. Super excited. We're back for another episode. In this episode, we're talking about our two favorite things, AI and money. So, two AI influencers made $7.6 million. Did y'all hear Star when she said the millions? Let her penetrate millions within 6 or 7 hours. Like, first of all, we got to talk about, let's tell them it's China. It has not happened here in America yet, but that just goes to show you the advancements when it comes to technology. China is eons beyond where we are. Like, we're excited about, Google releasing Gemini and, being able to play with Midjourney and all this stuff, and ChatGPT. China is like, we had our own version of ChatGPT 5, 10 years ago. Now we're creating fake people who look real. If you go and watch the video,
I have it ready.
they look like they're real.
Yep, I'm going to play it so you all can actually see it. Share screen. Oh, maybe it doesn't allow me to share my video screen, my phone screen. Okay, keep talking. Let me pull it up on TikTok then, because it won't let me share my
Okay.
phone.
So if you're just joining, welcome in. We are back for another co-live where we're talking about our two favorite things, AI and how to make money. We were just discussing some influencers, AI influencers in China, fake influencer in China just made over $7.6 million. Basically, they created a live stream. They were selling whatever they were selling. I don't even have the details of what they were selling, but they were selling something, selling products or whatever, and non-real technology. They must have programmed this technology though to really tap into marketing, really tap into the gestures and the movements and things like that. We got it up, so go ahead.
Yep, here we go.
Two fake people just made $7 million in one day. These AI avatars sold products to 13 million viewers without a single human being present on the stream. This isn't science fiction anymore. Luo Yonghao, a famous Chinese seller, created an AI version of himself that hosted a 6-hour shopping live stream. The avatar looked real, sounded real, and sold like crazy. The technology behind this is mind-blowing. Baidu pre-generated 8,000 different gestures so the avatar could move naturally. They also fed it 13,000 product descriptions for perfect sales accuracy. But here's what makes this terrifying. The AI avatars were taking live questions from viewers and responding in real time. People were buying from robots thinking they were humans. This live stream made more money than most of Luo's human streams. $7.6 million in 6 hours proves that AI can sell better than people when it has the right data. We're watching the birth of digital salespeople who never get tired, never make mistakes, and can work 24/7. The future of commerce just got very weird.
That's insane. And it just shows you too the advances of technology, because for us right now as consumers of AI, you can't really have these AIs go this long. It'll be some type of glitch, or most of the programs that are available, they're not offering you more than maybe 5, 10 minutes. But this thing went for hours without any glitches, I'm assuming. And people really thought that this was a real person. That is going to show you too, we're going to come into a day and an age where you're not going to know if this is really me and Star or AI avatars.
Oh man, I love it. And for those of you who are tuning in right now, take some time to share this live video out, but also engage with us. Let us know your thoughts. Would you have known the difference that that was an AI avatar? Would you have bought? What are your thoughts on that? For me, I think it's genius. Like, it makes me think about all those futuristic movies that we've been headed in that direction, right? And here we are now. It's like it's here, it's in China at least. You know, it's going to hit America. It might hit a little bit differently. But the part that stands out to me the most is that he programmed 8,000 gestures. And because of that, it looked so lifelike. If he only had 5 gestures, it would move slowly. Like we've been playing around with avatars, right? And they look like avatars. But when you have the freedom to be able to program that many and then also feed it so much information, it's like you don't ever have to show up. 6 hours just selling to 13 million people, and he made $7.6 million. So, what I love about these stories is that it shows you what's possible.
Yeah.
Like you do not have to be sitting at home doing it the antiquated way, right? Like the antiquated way is us going live for 6 hours. And we weren't doing that. Like the
Exactly.
longest I've ever been live has been an hour and a half, 2 hours. Yep, that's it. 2 hours has been the longest that I've been like, oh, maybe 2.5 hours. But 6 hours selling to 13 million people, like I would love to see the inside of his marketing strategy. Like how long did it take him to build the 13 million? Where were they streaming from? I know it wasn't on TikTok, right? So like what is the capacity? I just think all of that is very fascinating.
Yeah, and China's very big on live selling, even on their wholesale platforms. Now, when you go in there and you're looking to buy, I don't know, wholesale shoes, or you got a jewelry business, when you go on there now, if you go on there at certain times, you can actually see the vendor live showing you the product. So China has been really heavily going into that way for a very, very long time. I think we're starting to catch up a little bit because of TikTok, where they allowed the live selling. I think Meta started that some years ago, but they didn't stick with it. But I feel like right now is probably the best opportunity to get in on that wave. Listen, if they develop the technology, I would honestly invest and sell products, sell physical products, and just allow that to be just another stream to make me some money. Listen, if I had that tool available today, I would have it going live for me 2-3 hours a day and get my boot camp sold out.
That part. So, but here's the thing that I was thinking about though, because even though the avatar is selling, it still needs to be prompted. Like it wasn't because it was live answering questions. So even though you're not giving out any energy per se being live, them thumbs and fingers still got to get to moving because you got to be able to prompt it in a way. So I wonder if they can do like automated prompting or something like
I
that.
was just thinking, I wonder, because just thinking China is way advanced. I wonder if they found every possible
Yeah.
question that somebody can ask and it was programmed. Because then I know they say the gestures, but I know they had to program. I think it studied the man as well. Because I was looking at another video of it. I think they studied the man. I'm sure he fed it like how his behaviors, how he, different words he may use. It's also going to make a lot of these other companies step up, the ones in America step up to study this type of technology, to understand gestures. Maybe some of our avatars would flow better if they programmed it on the gestures, on the movements and things like that. Because now with HeyGen, when you go into record, they tell you got to be staring straight and don't move, and you got to be looking at the camera. Me, on the other hand, I like to talk with my hands. So that was very, very hard for me. I don't even think I was able to do it. So my videos for my avatar is, you see the hand movements.
Yeah, so I just shot my video today. I low key want to play it so y'all can see because I feel like I did a good job. But I also I'm really good at mimicking people. So like I watched what she needed to do, and I saw that she was just like standing like this with her hands like this. And every now and then she'd open up her hands and have it like that, whatever. But I am pretty stiff. And the thing is, when you shoot it that way, the avatar itself looks stiff. When we looked at the man's one that was on TikTok, he looked like he was moving. Like he looked like he was doing a lot. But it's because we just don't have the technology yet here in America that helps you to make it lifelike, right? Or I should say it's not readily available, right? But here's the other thing though, because as we are talking about, them making $7.6 million, their government is different from our government.
Absolutely.
Our government is probably going to regulate it so much that ours won't look like that for another 50 years. And by that time, China will be on to the next thing, and we'll still be like AI, AI, AI.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of measurements as these AI tools start to adapt. We're going to notice that, especially with our government, they're going to have constraints on a lot of things. Like I seen another video. It was of a guy visiting China, and he went into some type of local business, local shop, and they had AI or robot powered legs. And I was like saying to myself, this would be so cool for the person who's paralyzed or can't walk or whatever. They had to get their legs amputated and things like that. But what it does is you can be lazy and not move. The legs are going to move for you, which I thought was insane. The guy was just like, it felt like interesting in the beginning because he's used to moving. But now this AI doesn't have to, it doesn't require you. It's just programmed. You set the speed in which you want to go, and it boom. And it's just like all of these things in technology is bursting out. How can you use this as a business owner, as a coach, as a brand? How can you use AI and not just give me a prompt in ChatGPT, not just cute, captions and quotes, but how can you use this to make your clients, your customers' life easier and get things done faster? Because that's the way we're going. People, if you think people want stuff now, fast, we live in that Amazon world, it's only going to get, I don't know if I should say worse, but it's only going to get more where people are like, no, I need it in 2 seconds. It needs to be done.
Well, my one question is, when are we moving to China? Because clearly there's money to be made and we can make it very fast. And if y'all are watching and you want to join in on the conversation, let us know, would you move to China, be able to utilize AI in this capacity to make millions of dollars? Now, here's the thing that's very fascinating. There's a couple of things, right? When you talked about the AI legs moving, like that instantly made me think about iRobot with Will Smith. I think I bring up that movie all the time and all the futuristic movies because this is like the thing that we've been working towards. And those movies kind of warn us like these robots are going to try to take over. I don't know if that's ever going to happen, but it is letting us know that the way that we're doing business or just living life, this way is about to be extinct, right? Like things are going to significantly shift. And like you said, how can you implement this into your business? Because I remember in 2023, it was just as simple as going live and getting sales from the people who show up. In 2025, that marketing strategy at least don't work for me anymore, right? And I could cry the rest of the year and be like, how come what worked in 2023 is not working now? Or I can adapt now and shift now, right? And so before the laws come in and our government comes in and completely messes stuff up, you want to get in now.
Yeah.
I know some people where they're just like, I don't want to touch AI. I don't trust it. Okay, you have your trust issues, but this is something that I learned about when it comes to trust issues. And I don't know if I had the book readily available, but it's a book that I read and it talked about trust issues. It says trust issues will cost you thousands, even millions of dollars.
Wow.
Because it would, because you have low trust, you're least likely to move and do anything, right? So for me, I don't have trust issues. I don't even consider myself an early adapter. But with this AI, every time we talk about it, my skin just gets tingly because I'm like, all the possibilities. And I want to be a trailblazer, a front runner, not someone who's watching from the sidelines, wishing that I was in the front. Like when YouTube came out and God told me, this is 2012. It didn't come out in 2012, but in 2012, God told me to start posting content on YouTube. And I said no because I was depressed. And look what has happened with YouTube. Issa Rae done blew up. So many other people have blown up. They've gotten deals. They've gotten movies. They got their own production companies, all from YouTube. But that could have been me back in 2012. But I let fear stop me. We're now in 2025 and AI is coming out. And this time I'm like, no, put me in the front. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to go. Because whatever it takes, as long as I don't got to sell my soul to nobody, whatever it takes, I'm going to be at the forefront. And my name is going to be synonymous with, Star Wars. She created this. I always wanted to be that person, like create my own genre in television, be the first woman to have her own TV network. People beat me to it, but they don't got to beat me to AI. That's for sure.
Yeah. I think we're in a day where at least our generation, we get to experience a boom. Like I remember when I was like in college, the boom was when the housing market crashed. And so, it was just like you jobs were, the money wasn't the same. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then right now, another boom is happening, but it's for our good,
Yes.
right? It's for us to trailblaze. It's for us to build. You know how many people are building new concepts, new apps by the day, and AI is literally changing by the day. I was telling Star earlier, I'm like, in January, we hired somebody on Fiverr to create a video for us. It took him maybe 5 to 7 days to build this video out using like this 3D programs and stuff like that. Last night, I was playing around with AI and I was able to build that same thing within seconds. So now I don't have to spend hundreds, even thousands of dollars in certain areas in my business. If it literally takes me a few seconds to get it done. That's how a lot of people are changing their employees, or they're letting some employees go, or they're not outsourcing different things, because you can literally do it within a click of a button or the right words. It's like, this is the day and age too, like where jobs and positions, careers can be created. Like, if you understand how to tell these AI systems and bots what to do and like be as specific as possible, you can win.
That's so good. And it makes me think about in 2010 when Instagram launched and people were making fun of the people who were posting their food and their clothes and going outside and their children. Today, those same people are influencers who makes millions of dollars. They are living the lives of celebrities, and influencer marketing is a thing. In 2010, it wasn't. In 2010, we thought they were bored, but they were early adopters and now they're millionaires. And now we see people just now quitting their jobs to become influencers. So it's like, how long will you wait before you jump in to actually start utilizing AI? And here's the thing, some of you are probably like, but I already use ChatGPT. Well, take it up a notch. How can you shift your business? How could you shift your own career? Because there are some people who are afraid that they're going to become obsolete because in your mind, you keep telling yourself, I'm not good with technology. But there's actually something that you can do if you're not good with technology. It's two things. The first step is to pray and to ask God, one, give me a desire for it and show me how to use this. And then number two is to learn how to use it. Okay, I'm not going to make it seem like this is magic and God's just going to deposit the skills into you. Just like all of us, we got to take the time to put the prompts in, to start learning. Like, I started building out my AI avatar too. Was it frustrating? No, actually it wasn't. The voice was a little frustrating because it wasn't giving me what I wanted to, right? And it doesn't look the way that I wanted to yet, but I know the more that I keep doing it, the better at it that I'll become. And I had to shift. My business was shifting, and I had to shift in order for me to be able to get to where I want to be, because this is not my end result. Like, this is just a next step in the journey. It's the next chapter.
Absolutely. That was actually one of my prayers a few years ago when AI was first coming around. When I first started dabbling with AI, it was me creating fashion. It was me creating outfits. And I would just be like, Holy Spirit, teach me how I can make these outfits just for me. You know what I'm saying? And he literally gave me different things to put into this stuff. And that's how I learned the prompt. I started out, for me, was fashion. It wasn't really me using ChatGPT like that. It was me in Midjourney, and I was creating outfits. And I would take those outfits, give them to my designer, and she would bring them to life for me. So that's kind of how I started. You just got to figure out where you belong in that. Like, there are so many people making AI specific pages. It may be about fashion or teaching about AI. They're using AI to create these pages. You just have to figure out what's going to work for you and work it. Figure out first, if you already somebody who has a business and is running, think about, how can I use this to service my people?
There are 8 AI tools, like Google had launched their agents, right? Their AI agent was Google. ChatGPT also has one. There's a couple of them. It's like, as soon as one gets launched, everyone else starts jumping on the bandwagon and releasing these agents, right? So like, the people that you would pay to send your emails, to schedule stuff on your calendar, you don't need to pay them anymore. And what, ChatGPT is $21 a month, right? And Google Suite is, I can't remember, they raise their price every now and then, right? My point is, you are probably paying a person a couple of $100s to do that. And now you have AI that can do it for you for less money. The additional money that you were paying that person, you can pay to learn.
Yeah.
You don't got to try to figure it out on your own. Just pay to learn. I would go to a couple of boot camps. I would go to a couple of conferences and see what's possible. I will start searching on Instagram, on TikTok, just viewing things and see what's possible. Like, because for me, I also felt like there was no space for me when it came to AI, because I'm like, oh, it's just, prompting ChatGPT. But as it keeps on evolving, I'm like, no, I create content. Like, how can I make this faster weight content, and not just writing my scripts and my captions, but like me being present? Because the more I'm on social media, the more that my business grows, the more that I realize I'm not producing enough content. Back in 2023, this was enough content. In 2025, it's not enough content. So it's like, what can I do without burning myself out and still be able to make a lot of money? And that's by using AI.
Was 2023 like a really good year for you? That was
Girl,
one of the worst.
what?
It was one of the worst years for me. I lost my business. So every time you say 2023, I'd be like, what happened in 2023?
Yeah, because you know what happened? Like, God told me to start my business in 2021. So I
Okay.
started in 2021, fall 2021. 2022 was nothing but learning. I was in like 5 different coaching programs. And
Okay.
that's also how I learn. I'm a binger. So if I binge something and I do it 3 times, by the third time I can teach it like a pro.
Yeah.
So I was in just 2022. 2022, I only made $21,000. But in 2023, I made $117,000. So for me, that was really fast, especially because I just started in fall 2021. So to see like a year, a little more over a year later, to just come significantly increase, I'm like, oh, hell yeah. I think out of my crew, I was the first one to hit 6 figures and surpass 6 figures. So that was a good year. Now just been, I want to top it. Like that's it.
Yeah.
Each year has been like to grow higher than that, but we haven't been able to grow higher than it yet. And that's because that's what I learned, that what works for me in 2023 is not working in 2025.
Yeah.
And the strategies and system I use to scale to 6 figures is not the same system you use to scale to multiple 6 figures. It has to.
Absolutely. And that reminds me of my first marketing book years ago. I wrote, one of the chapters talked about not becoming loyal to systems and processes that no longer serve you a purpose. So if you're watching on today and you've been trying and you've been working the same things you've been doing the last 5 and 10 years and they're not working anymore, maybe that's a sign for you to pivot, and not being afraid of pivoting. Now we have easier ways to do things. Now we as a people has changed. The way in which we conversate, the way in which people receive information, consume information is all shifting and changing. So you might have to do different things that you didn't do previously. You know what I'm saying? So I just think it's okay to pivot, and especially if on the end of this, I'm gonna hit those numbers. I'm gonna, whatever's in your heart or your desires to do, you'll do it. But it doesn't make sense to stay loyal to something that's not working.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what that chapter in that book was about. I wrote that, oh my God, years ago. I was watching TD Jakes and he was preaching, and I don't know what he was preaching about, but a marketing download came on me and I just start writing a marketing book.
That part. But here's the thing, because that's actually why AI is working so well right now, and why everyone's going crazy for it, because the way that we were doing things was not working anymore. People were tired, exhausted, overspending money. Trump wants to release tariffs. I don't even know if that even went through. I feel like it was such a big talk. Okay. Okay. My point is that AI made life so much easier and cheaper,
Yeah.
because what you would invest in a team, you can actually just hire AI and it will do it for you for less. So,
Absolutely. Yeah. And like, even with like those mundane jobs of like
mhm.
inboxing and all of that, you can literally have AI do that stuff for you. You just got to find the right tools that's going to work for you. Sometimes you have to test things out, get around a community of people that, understand AI, invest in
Mhm.
learning AI. Like, I am a nerd, I am a student. There are some days I'm spending hours just looking at different concepts and different tools you can use. And I'll be like, oh, because I'm one of them people, if I see it, I buy it when it comes to AI. And so I'm like, oh, let me try this. Let me try. And then I'll be, into it. I'll be doing good. And then I'll run out of credits. And then I'm like, dang, I got to pay double this month. Like that it's just, that's just like my thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody has their thing, what they like, their pastime, their passion. And for me, for the last 2-3 years, it's been AI in different ways. And now I'm understanding a lot of these tools. And you don't need 50 million tools. Like me, I got 50 million tools just because it's me, right? But you don't need 50 million tools. You need to find the right tools that's going to work for you. That's gonna, like, AI should be able to help you so you're not experiencing burnout. I remember there was like a wave, was that 2023, 24, where everybody was just experiencing burnout. Now you don't have to. You just get the right systems, the right tools in place, set up, so that way you can do it. You can train GPTs in Chat GPT to know your business, to understand like your marketing, to understand your HR department, like whatever it is, you can train it and create bots around that. And so now when you're hiring people, you're onboarding, you send them out the link, it's already programmed, and they can learn about your company and learn different things. There's so many things that you can do with, even with ChatGPT, more than what we discussed. It's beyond create captions, create hooks. It can do so much other things. It can connect to other things you got going on. So it's just a matter about learning it and figuring out what works for you.
Yeah. And I know some of you are hearing us say like learn it and figure it out. And y'all are getting like, you're probably thinking, when am I going to find the time to learn it? Right? Like you're running a full-time business, you have employees, you're doing this, you have your children, all that. So you're getting flustered because it's like, this is a lot. I want to be at the forefront of it, but when am I going to find the time? And the reality is, if you already have team members, right, and you freed yourself up, you can hire team members. It's going to take care of your AI for you if you're in that position. If you're not, but you have team members right now that's already helping you, set aside the hour a day or 2 hours a week, like up to you on how you want to learn it. But here's something that my former business coach would say all the time. He say, the faster you learn, the faster you earn. And that's just real. Like you can stay in this space and just keep telling yourself, there's no way, I don't have time. Or you could think about how much money I'm going to make on the other end. Because if I knew that I'd be making $7.6 million by using AI, of course I put the time in. It also makes me think about Alex Hormozi, right? Like for a while, he was trending because he made $105 million in 2 days, right? But 5 years ago, he started that strategy. He was planning it out for 5 years, but he had the end goal in mind, which was in 5 years, I'm going to hit $105 million. This is what I'm going to do in order to do that. And I think oftentimes we tend, because even I'm like this, we tend to think, but I want to make this money right now. So I just need to go, 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 go. But the true richness is in strategizing and taking your time and mapping that thing out and actually launching. Like that's where the true richness is. And that's when you'll see the results from it.
Yeah, I think that's good. There was another article that we were talking about. It was about a small business, and the son of the small business created a marketing video using AI. I think it took him like 5-7 minutes or something like that. And that helped that small business that probably wasn't getting much exposure get exposure like this. With AI, it allows us to be creative in a new way. Like, you want to think about ways to disrupt the feed, you can do that in AI. There's a lot of things that get my attention if I'm scrolling, and it's usually something to do with somebody that created something in AI. They got the Chanel bag floating in the air, like all of those. You have to just be creative. And if right now you like, I just want to run my business, you can hire consultants like us to get these things for you. There are literally people building fictitious brands through AI, and then they turn into a brand, but they got the sales coming in. So now they got to hook up with the manufacturer and get all of this stuff done. But this literally happening like that. You build a brand before you even have the inventory, before you even have the stock. Like that's just the way that the world is moving. And it's okay. I think AI can be fun. I think if you're not careful, it'll be overwhelmed. AI still needs us. Like a lot of people like, oh, my job is going to be replaced. It still needs somebody to tell it what to do. It cannot move. It cannot do if someone is not telling it how to function, how to become, how to do. So keeping that in mind, if you're somebody and you're like, oh, I'm staying away from AI, you're not staying away from AI. If you're watching us right now, there's some form of AI. You go to the ATM, you take out money, AI. You talk to Siri and you tell her all your business, AI. The man that his heart was saved because of some AI technology, AI. Like, it's going to be used for good and bad, right? So why not find yourself using it for good? Why not find yourself using it for good? There, somebody was telling me earlier, there was a woman doing a class about how she makes feet pics or something like that. Like you the creativity, creativity. And there was another lady I seen on either YouTube or TikTok a couple weeks ago, and she was talking about how she makes money selling AI generated feet pics. Like, and I'm not telling anybody go and make feet pics, but I'm telling you, creativity, thinking outside of the box. She's making, people are paying her for feet that they don't even realize are fake.
That part. That I was about to say that. I'm like, they do not know that fee is fake,
Right.
but they like it. That's how real that fetish is. So I do want to bring it back to the LA tamale shop. That was the small business that Quonda was talking about that was able to generate an ad. The ad has over 22 million views on it, and it increased their sales by 40%.
Wow.
And it took 10 minutes to create, just like that. Right. And so that's what's possible for you if you want to be able to use AI in a way for your marketing, so you don't have to run away from it. The thing is, though, right, here's what AI won't replace. It won't replace you knowing who your dream client is. Because everyone that we're talking about their success, there was trial and error. We don't hear about the trial and error, but there was trial and error, and they had to have known who their dream client is. Like, the ad isn't just going to take off just because they create an ad in AI. Because some of you are listening right now, you're like, I've been doing that, and it's not working. It's because you don't know your dream client. Like, you still have to know who they are. In order for the two fake AI influencers to be able to make $7.6 million, they said that they were able to answer questions live. That means that they had to know who their dream client was in order to respond in a way that's going to get the people to actually want to buy, right? So it's not going to replace actually knowing how to do marketing and actually knowing how to do sales. All it does is it enhances it, and it saves you time so that you can quickly multiply your money. And that's the goal. The goal is to be able to multiply quickly.
Yeah, and we're going to see a rise of more AI influencers. We're going to see that you probably see some on social media now where you're thinking it's real accounts. We're going to see a rise on that. And once the capability comes where you can go live for periods of time, you're going to see that. You're going to see more Twitch stars. You're going to see more Instagram models. You're going to see a lot more of that. I seen somebody playing around with one of those AI tools that allow that, and they made a streamer. And these young kids, they're making a lot of money. They're making millions of dollars from doing these live streams and things like that. But you're gonna see a rise in AI influencers, and you're gonna see brands paying top dollars for those influencers. If you think about your business, right? Think about what can you create, right? Depending on what you sell, what you offer, what can you create to position yourself for these brands?
Yep.
I'm going to start creating AI influencers and have them, in my deck, have them in my portfolio. So when these brands are ready, I'm like, listen, I got Tiara. Tiara does this. Tiara does that. Tiara has this look. Tiara can promote your product. And you can sell those for thousands and thousands of dollars, and you're helping them. Now, something I've been playing around with is creating little mini commercials, disrupting the feed by doing something really, really extreme. Like in one of the videos I've been playing around with, I haven't dropped it yet, but it's literally, I made a Chanel popsicle, and the Chanel popsicle melts and turns into a high-end bag. Something like that will disrupt the feed, and maybe it'll get Chanel's attention. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's different things like that you can do. You just have to think about who your dream client is, what you're going to offer. You can even go into chat and say, I know that AI is booming. Based off of what you know about me and the clientele that I have, what is something unique we can create to make the client save time, save money? Literally package new services, AI powered solutions, and things like that. Yep. Y'all, I will go all day talking about this AI stuff because that's just where I'm at.
I just thought to myself, I'm like, because we were talking about how, you were shifting and who you're reaching and all those things. But you could create those content and post it and tag the people to it, tag the businesses to it, because that is actually back when brand deals started coming out. That's actually how people got brand deals. I mean, today they still do, but for the most part, you got to pitch yourself now. But back then, it was just create the content with their stuff and then tag them to it, and they'll reach out and actually offer you a deal. So that actually is a genius idea. There was something else I was going to say, and I lost my train of thought. I don't remember what it was, but it was something that you were saying that I'm like, yeah, I want to comment on that. It'll come back.
It'll come back. Shameless plug too. I just started a new TikTok page. It's called AI Marketing Plug. So if you're interested in AI marketing, more so AI, follow me over there on TikTok. Just dropped. I just started the page the other day, but I started posting today. So if you're into it, only come over there if you're into AI, because it's all you're gonna see. You're not gonna get any praying videos. You're not gonna get anything churchy. You're not gonna get any of that. It's all AI. And you're gonna meet, huh?
All right, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, and you're gonna meet my twin.
Is that right?
I don't know. I just do this, and if they get it, they get it. If they don't, they don't.
So you actually I remember what I wanted to say.
Okay.
So you were talking about creating the different AI avatars, and then brands can be able to utilize it, right? And that actually is lucrative for brands, because right now, when brands want to work with influencers, they got to pay their fee, they got to fly them out if they need to fly them out. But they also, if they want to use it on their end, they have to pay like the in perpetuity fee, so that they can just run the ads on their end too, right? When you create an AI avatar, there is none of that.
Right.
There's no in perpetuity fee. It literally is, here's your avatar, you can use it.
Mhm.
And then it could probably is going to be like a membership fee, so that I'm the one who's constantly prompting it for you, so that you don't get anyone on your team. But that actually saves the brands more money. But what it does is it opens a door for others to get in. Like for those of you who have wanted to do influencer marketing for a long time, and you don't got the equipment, you don't got the space, you don't got the look, people don't like your content, and you shift into creating AI avatars and selling it. Come on now. They don't even come with managers. Some brands are going to be like, that's exactly what I want. Do you have someone for? First of all, we need to hop on this before somebody else does, because I already see somebody who's not this and who's not okay, right?
Exactly.
Who already is, oh, Quonda and Star said that. All right.
Watching right now. Secretly watching right now, like, oh, let me
go ahead and by tomorrow, just launch a new AI avatars, brands. Okay.
Yeah, it's just, we're telling you to just stay ahead. You know what I mean? Stay current. Look at news articles. I'm constantly sending Star different things that I see. She sends me different things. So stay current. You want to be at the top of the boom, because we know, oh my God, I hate when I do that. We know. I hate when I do that. Oh my God.
I didn't
It
even
throws me off
notice.
every time I'm live. Every
I
time I'm
didn't
live.
even notice. I saw when you did this. I did not know you went ahead and did it again. Like
every time I'm live and I see that, I'd be like, oh my God, I gotta go do mine. They used to call me Angela Bassett Arms. I don't know what happened. But we're teaching you.
It doesn't even matter anymore. Legit. Just create your AI avatar and then give it Angela Bassett arm. You don't even gotta show up no more.
Exactly.
We're gonna come to this, like y'all gonna watch this one day and it ain't gonna be us.
No.
It's gonna be our clones, because that's actually what I really want. Didn't I say that to you the other day? I said I really want to figure out how I can get my clone to go live. It doesn't even have to be me. It could just be an avatar that I created, because I want that to go live, because I know that our live videos do the best. So it's like creating short form content. It's okay.
Yeah.
I can get my app. And then you sent me the video with the guy who made $7.6 million.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, somebody figured it out.
Yeah, I think going into the new year, that capability will be here.
Yeah.
It may not be cheap at first, but it'll be worth it.
Yeah.
It'll be worth the investment. And so yeah, I'm excited about that, because listen, I'm a trained mind and know psychology, everything about marketing you can know.
Everything. It's gonna talk just like me, move like me. She's gonna be changing her outfits right live. 1 minute she in red, the next minute she in yellow. I'm just going in for no reason at all. She's gonna clone herself right on live just cause.
But that's where we're going, y'all. You like every day there's something new, there's something crazier, but like I never even thought you could do that. But so you just want to be ahead of the curve. Pray and ask God, give me a strategy. I know that this AI is booming. How can I effectively navigate through AI or with AI?
These comments will crack me up. Michael, sorry.
Exactly. Is this really us?
Are we really here?
No, Quonda is over here programming me on what's
programming the underarm. Oh, I'm so done. Okay. Michael asked a question. Michael said, I have an idea. I believe it's a witty invention. I don't really know where to start. I know heaven gave it to me. How can I implement this with AI?
I think the first thing is to get it down on paper, to outline it, to understand what it is. And then once you get an understanding of exactly what it is, you can go into an AI and say, I have this idea. What is the fastest way or the most cost effective way to get this done? And then you can even say within the next 60 days, within the next year, and look at all the data that it gives you, the information. It'll tell you, you need to research this, or you need to invest in this tool, or just get it down on paper, have it so you understand exactly what it is, and then have the AI break it down of how it can be possible, how it can be done.
Yeah, and I just wrote in a chat because Michael says, he said, I'll bring you in for 10%. I'm going to make hundreds of millions on this. And I believe you, right? However, Quonda does have an AI boot camp. It's kicking off on Monday. You can literally join her boot camp and she will help you to, well, depending on what it is. Look at me just letting out your
Yeah,
service.
because I was gonna say it's not necessarily AI boot camp, but we do implement AI in there. So I want to just say that it focuses on more. This boot camp for the fall focuses on more on marketing. And if you already have a product, if you already have a service, and you're not hitting $5,000-$10,000 months, but there is like a time where we're gonna get into AI. But first, we got to go to the basics of understanding your target audience and things like that. So yeah, if that's somewhere where you're at, then yes, that would be fine. But as far as if you don't have the product or service already, it will be kind of hard to go through marketing and then you don't have it built yet. I have had a couple students that have done it, but they were also implementers. They were building their product or service as we were doing the boot camp. So yeah, that is available. But I just had to say it's not 100%. It's not an AI class. It's not all. It's more marketing with AI. So I just want to correct that so nobody would be joining and be like, "Well, I thought this was AI."
I mean, it is AI because you're doing it, even if it's at the ladder.
Yeah.
You'll get it. But Michael, if you do need help with ideation, Quonda does have one-on-one calls, right? You still have those? Did I make that up?
Yeah, I do.
So you can book a one-on-one with her, and then you can go through the concept, so she can show you how you can get it done. And then if it's a right fit, you can actually work with her so that she can help you to build this thing out. Because that'll be okay. I didn't even. All right. So anyway, I didn't even have to open it already. All right. So I forgot. I was going to say something else, but I don't remember.
We were talking about tamales, and then we moved on about that. Yeah.
Yes, we were talking about brands being
Yeah.
able to purchase AI avatars. So like that's just another way to be super creative in what it is that you want to do for your business. The most important thing is be creative and have fun with it, because the people who are blowing up right now is because they were being creative, right? And there's some of you on here right now where you are watching, you have that creative gene that's inside of you. Like Michael said, he said God has given him a witty invention. That's creativity, right? I remember when I first started my business, God told me to start creating content full time. So I'm like, oh, okay, let me start creating this content full time. But then I went back to God and I said, Lord, you are the master creator. Please download your creativity into me. And he did that. And that year, my videos were going viral like crazy. People were like, oh my goodness, how do you come up with this stuff? And I'm like, this is the mind of God, right? So you don't have to limit yourself to only ask for the witty invention. You can also ask him to download the creativity, show you the path, the strategy, and he would. He also show you the people who can help you, right? But here's the thing. I always say this to people who come to me, because y'all over here praying for coaches, consultants to help you, and then they quote you a price, and then you get scared. That doesn't make any sense, right? So I always say things like, you over here praying to God and asking for help, and then you mad that help comes with a price tag. When King David wanted to purchase a plot so that he can build the temple for God on it, the man tried to give it to David for free. And David said, I will not offer this land up to my God without paying anything. There needs to be some type of sacrifice on my end. And he was the king. He could have been like, I'm taking this lot, but he didn't do that. He said, I have to offer a sacrifice because it needs to be honorable. And there are some people, now I feel like I'm scolding, but it's okay. Y'all be, but there are some people where you feel like just because you're a Christian, you're supposed to get it for free. But where's your sacrifice? Some of you are thinking just because they're Christian and you give them a sob story that they should give it to you for free. But where's your sacrifice? Right? We got to stop offering our businesses to God in a way that comes like a filthy rag. Oh God, I'm so poor. I don't know what to do. I need help. Make it free. Like that's not that I don't serve that type of God.
Me neither. That's a sound like a poverty God.
Yeah, exactly.
OG.
Okay. I serve a God of faith. Like you send me the person and the finances, or I should say make a way. Because sometimes it doesn't require me to have to pay like certain types of finances. A lot of times it does though, right? Sometimes he just makes a way.
Yeah.
So I pray both prayers and I'm just open to how he does it. Let me tell you, when he's done it, I've booked a mindset coach because a check landed in my mail, right? But I've also gotten a mentor because we bartered services. I've also gotten coaches because I got a client and was able to pay the coach. So he's done it. Does it in many different ways, but you got to be ready and willing. And one way, right? Because we talk about tithe, and then I'll wrap it up because I feel like we're in church and we soon pass the collection plate in a little bit.
Pastor, I think you need to linger right here. I'm your amen. Okay.
Oh my goodness, we're gonna cue the choir in just a little bit. But when we talk about tithing, right? There's a lot of people who do not like tithing because in your mind you feel like, oh, the pastor's gonna run off with my money, right? But God says, where your treasure is, so is your heart.
Yeah.
And you keep thinking someone's going to run off with my money. You're holding tightly to your treasure. But what are you showing God? That I idolize money more than I idolize you, God.
Yeah.
I idolize money more than I trust you, God, with my finances.
Jesus.
And that's something I had to learn. So in my mind now, I don't care if the pastor runs off with the money because I'm not giving it to him for that. I'm giving it to God.
Exactly.
You go, what that person does, if he mishandles it, that's on him.
Mm-hmm.
But I did my part. I released. And because of that, one, I'm disciplined that when money comes into my hand, I can release it. And I'm not talking about spending frivolously on Chinese food and whatnot. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about I have been trained to invest. That's what you're tithing. That's the first investment that you make. Your tithes, right? So I've been trained to invest. And then secondly, when we talk about money and we talk about currency, it has to flow. Currency, that word, look at it. It means, it says current. Current means that it's ever moving, it's ever flowing, right? So some of you, the reason why you're not receiving the finances is because your money is not flowing. You're collecting it and hoarded it. And then you're paying it to debt. I got to pay off this debt. I got to pay off this debt. You're paying it to a debt mountain that's never going to get paid off. I was in a similar boat when I first started out. And I remember I had a choice between hiring a business coach or paying my debt for an entire year, paying my bills for an entire year. And I decided to pay for the coach because I knew that if I paid bills for an entire year, 1 year later, I would be right back in the same position praying to God, asking for money. But I had to exercise my faith. Let me invest in this coach and learn how to multiply my money quickly. There's a lot of you who are going to get left behind in this season, not because you don't know how to use AI, not because you're afraid to use AI, but because you're afraid to invest. And I know for me, on the other side of investment is advancement.
Jesus.
You don't get to go unless you invest. And now we're going to cue the choir.
That was so good. You know, something what you said though, it got me looking at tithing differently. I'm a tither. I've always been I've been a tither when I was broke. But you said like, God is training us to invest. I never looked at it like that. Thank you, Father, for teaching me how to invest. Okay. I love that. I want to just add one thing to what you were saying. I invested in a coach on my parents' couch and while living in a hotel. Two situations that, in my opinion, were dire. Two situations that looked like you don't need to be spending no money on that. But I knew I needed somebody to teach me at the first level a few $1,000s a month. Then at the next level, $10,000 to $20,000 a month. I needed somebody to teach me. I needed to see that that was possible. even though I don't even know what their beliefs were really, but I looked at it as I'm sowing into their business. They're already making millions of dollars. So I'm just sowing into their business. But I had that mindset while I was coming out of poverty. You know what I'm saying? So it is one, consuming free information could only go but so far. You can only watch a certain amount of YouTube videos. A lot of people are consuming all this information, not doing anything about it. You're going to have to invest. And just because you are a believer and you meet somebody who is a believer, don't dishonor them by asking them for a discount. I don't even, when they come in my inbox with that, with their little sad stories, I don't even respond.
That's manipulation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll say things like, the Lord told me that you can help me.
He would have told me first.
Exactly.
Because I've had God come to me and tell me things like, work with that person.
Yeah. The Lord told me that you can help me, and then expect that they're going to get the help for free. Blocked. I'm not even, like, in this season of my life, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. You guys, it's time out for the milk. It's time for me. It's time for you to be honorable. I remember this woman said to me some months ago that she want to make $1 million in like 40 something months. And now I looked at her and now I see her fruit and I'm like, there's no way. You're not making $1 million in 48 months or 40 months, whatever the months were. You don't have any integrity at the lower level. You don't have the capacity. Can God trust you with more? I don't know why we're getting spiritual, but we're getting spiritual. Can God trust you with more? T.D. Jakes did a sermon years ago, and it was called, Can You Stand to Be Blessed? He talked about all the things that come with being blessed, not just, oh, you're haters, but it comes with stuff that you got to do. You know, if you don't honor God with the 20, you're never going to honor God with $2 million. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to have the capacity to handle the blessing. And some of y'all right now, your mindset is not there yet. So you can just stop looking for the millions of dollars. It's not coming. Not right now.
God, stop looking for it. Stop looking for the millions. It ain't coming. Oh my God. That's
when you have bad integrity. And then when you say I'm a believer, you're a believer, you hire me for a service, you dishonor me. Like, God sees that.
Yeah.
There's a scripture, I cannot find it, but it basically says something about taking from the mouth of a prophet. Like, I don't think people realize that character flaw. Okay, we can reel me back in, girl.
That was so good. Okay, I really didn't have to say this thing. Sorry, I lost it again. Oh man, God's like, get back on track. Get back on track.
He's like, y'all. He said, I didn't tell y'all to be rebuking my people.
I know. Sometimes people got to get rebuked though. Okay, it's fine. I'm rebuking myself. It's cool. So you said something, which was this person wanted to hit a certain number in a certain amount of time, right? But she had no integrity. I don't even know if you said she, could be a he, right? Had no integrity. Another thing that we have to understand is that God does work on the farmer's timeline, right? So if we're saying that we want to reap a certain type of harvest, you have to have seed in the ground. Absolutely. And based on what you're sharing about this person, it sounds like this person doesn't even have seed in the ground. So how do you expect to just reap millions of dollars when you don't have any seed in the ground? Like when we opened up this live, we showed 2 AI avatars made $7.6 million in 6 hours. That sounds nice, but they had seed in the ground. What was that seed? They had 13 million viewers. They didn't make 7.6 million with 2 people watching. Okay? He had 8,000 gestures. He didn't make 7.6 by just a couple of prompts. He had seed in the ground and then he nurtured it. And there's a lot of us, because I sometimes land here too, where all I want to do is just make the money. Yeah. And I'm meeting people, but not nurturing the relationships. It takes time. So we really have to stop being irresponsible. There is a such thing as a suddenly. The suddenlies do happen, but do you know that they happen after the seed has been in the ground for a certain amount of time? Like I want to talk about the bamboo plant because I love bamboo. Ever since I heard Pastor Mike Todd teach on the bamboo season, my life has never been the same. I'm like, word, that's what I want. But he said, when you plant a bamboo tree, it stays underground for like 4 years. You have no idea for those 4 years if it's even working or growing. And then he says, when it breaks ground, it grows 2 inches every hour.
Wow.
So there is a such thing as a suddenly after the seed has been in the ground for how long it needs to be in the ground for, after it has been nurtured for how long it needs to be nurtured for. That's why when you see people blowing up and it looks like an overnight success, it really took 14 years. It's just that it's harvest season. And my thing is, your harvest season is going to come whether you're ready or not. It's just, how much do you plan to harvest? When I hit my 6 figures in 2023, that's because for 2 years, well, a year and a half, the seed was in the ground and I was nurturing. And part of that seed in the ground was investing in lots of coaches. I invested like 50K in coaches, and I hadn't worked in 18 months when I did those investments. And then I was able to reap $117,000 from that. One coach, I invested 6,000. I reaped a 6-figure business. That was worth it. So when you put seed in the ground, it's going to multiply, and it will multiply suddenly, but you still have to allow time to mature. And that's where I'll land my plane. Can I get an amen from the audience? Oh, we got one already.
Amen. Now, can I ask a question about when you put seed in the ground, does the seed have to die?
Oh, it surely does. It has to die first. That thing that is not alive. It has to die first. It has to shed whatever it came into. And then it has to integrate into the soil that it's been put into. And then it has to receive the nutrients that it needs in order for it to grow. That nurturing process is no joke. That nurturing process takes the longest, and you won't see results the entire time. I've spoken to gardeners, and I always ask them, well, how do you know it's working? Because you can't see it. And this is why God tells us to walk by faith and not by sight, because these eyes can't see it, but this one can. And some of you see me pointing here, and I am not pointing at a third eye. I don't believe in that. I am pointing to my mind. Okay? That's why we trust Holy Spirit. There's one thing that Holy Spirit told me when I started my journey with him 6 years ago. He said, what I show you in the spiritual is more real than what you see in the physical. There are some of you that Holy Spirit has shown you $50,000 in the bank, but when you go in, it's -5. He has shown you millions of dollars in banks, investments, and assets in your name. But when you go into your bank, you actually owe the IRS.
Jesus.
You're in the negative, and it's frustrating, and you're crying to God. You're missing bill payments. You're missing mortgage payments. There's one of you who's about to watch this on the replay where your home was already taken from you. And in with these eyes, it looks like nothing's working. And you have been following God and doing everything that he's telling you to do. But what is he showing you in here? Because what he shows you in here is more real than what you're seeing right here. And if you do not quit and you do not give up during the fight, I promise you, you'll experience it suddenly. And you'll be like, I didn't even know how I was going to get out of it. That message was for me, because I told you earlier today, I was feeling discouraged earlier today, because these eyes are telling me that everything that I'm doing is not working. But this eye here, it won't let me stop. Like God is telling me, no, girl, keep going. Keep going. I got you. Keep going.
Yeah, I feel like for a lot of us entrepreneurs, content creators, and believers who've been showing up, doing the work, I feel like we're so close that if we quit right now, we'll just forfeit everything. But I feel like we're real close, and it just seems like it's been a long wait. You seem like you've been showing up, you've been going live, you've been posting the content, and it hasn't taken off in the way in which you believe it should take off. But I really feel like we are really, really close at the door. And I know that might sound cliche, and if you're going through a hard time, you might not want to hear it, but I really do believe it. I even believe it for myself, because there's certain scriptures I've been warring with, certain scriptures I've been holding on to, especially the one about if a thief be found after pay. And I just start thinking about everything that was stolen from me, taken from me, and not just even the last 2 to 3 years, but like thinking about my life. Like there's a lot of things that have happened that were taken from me. And I know I can point it at the enemy. And so I'm standing on it until I see it. And every day I'm like, God, he still hasn't given it back yet. Just like how he accused us, he still ain't do it yet. So Just hold on, y'all. We had those moments when we had those feelings, but feelings are fickle. Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't, and it'll pass. It'll
Mhm.
pass.
But that's the reason why we have scriptures that say, do not grow weary in
Yeah.
well doing, because in due season you shall reap if you don't faint.
Yeah.
I remember I had to school my therapist on that because she was like, "Man, that sounds cruel." And I said, "But that's actually the world." I said, "You're a therapist right now, but you wouldn't be a therapist if you quit your master's degree. You just wouldn't be. Like that's just life. If you quit during the trials, if you quit while you're building, if you quit while you're being worked on and healing, you're not going to see the end result. So you only reap if you don't faint." And so there are times that we are going to get weary. That doesn't mean that you have a lack of faith, by the way. When I feel discouraged and feel disappointed, I used to beat myself up because I'm like, why can't I just trust God? But we have to remember when Jesus was in the Garden of Gethsemane, wasn't he crying? Wasn't he afraid? Wasn't he over on some, well, Lord, if there's another way, please let this cup pass for me? I mean, he didn't say it with that much enthusiasm. Clearly, he was crying and sweating blood,
Right.
right? But then came the submission, nevertheless, that will be done.
Jesus.
So we are not going to go through these seasons and not feel like we want to quit. We're not going to go through these seasons and not feel weary. We're not going to go through these seasons and not feel discouraged, disappointed. You should feel all your feelings, actually, because it's these emotions that help you to build up the next. Your clients, when they're coming to you, to be able to speak to them so intimately, especially for those of you where you call yourselves empaths. I know that's the worldly term. In the kingdom, we use the term feelers. You're a feeler. You can pick up on other people's emotions, right? Part of you picking up on those emotions is the fact that you've experienced it so deeply. So once you pick up someone's emotion, you're now thinking about your pain that you went through. That allows your content to be so much more relatable. And I'll tell you right now, don't nobody want to learn from nobody who ain't never gone through nothing. The reason why I love reading King David's story is because it didn't matter how much he cried out to God. His trial season was over 15 years. He
Jesus.
was on the run for over 15 years. Could you imagine in year 6? He's over here praying. Oh, he heard Hannah's story too. Oh, what? Hannah went to the altar and she cried out to God. Let me do that too. Year 7, he's still on the run. He's believing, okay, well, he parted the Red Sea. So maybe he'll do that for me. Year 8, he's still on the run. Like, do you know how much hope that gives me? Knowing that here's a man who's after God's own heart. It didn't matter how much he prayed. It didn't matter how much he worshiped. It didn't matter how much he tithed. That did not stop his trial season. It was 15 years and counting. We don't even know the exact timing. And the same thing with Joseph, this man who honored God, served God 13 years before he saw the manifestation. I'm in year 6 going in year 7, and I'll be looking at God like, I don't know how long I could make it. This is long. And then I'm reminded about David and Joseph, and I'm like, but at least David was married. You're going to send me somebody? Okay. Y'all just got some insights into how I be praying to God.
I love that. I love that. So is there anything else? Did we cover everything that we wanted to cover today, or?
We did, but you were supposed to show your animation. Were you going to show it, or did you want to save it for the next one?
Which one? Oh, so our tool of the day, I guess we can talk about, is Google Gemini. Well, Google in general. Google launched a suite of tools for free. If you have a Gmail account, you can get these tools for free. I was using Gemini. You could go to gemini.google.com and sign up. But I was using Gemini, and I just took an image that I did of me when I had my hair braided, and I just asked it to cartoon it. So you can do so many different things with the Google Suite. You can build apps in there. You can create video content in there. You can do images like this. If, let's say you are hired by a fashion brand and they just have boring mock-ups, you can put in those boring mock-ups and change them, add models to them, change colors of different things. Maybe they want to do a pre-order and they they want to sell it, they want to do a pre-order, and so but they don't have that color in stock. You can go in there, manipulate it, change the colors, and then post it on the site or post it on social media, however. So it's just thinking outside the box. This is the lower level. You can actually do things like this on ChatGPT, but I noticed the clarity in capturing me was really, really good in Gemini.
Yeah, I've been enjoying using Gemini. Once you talked about it, and then I mean, I hesitated a little bit because I didn't know what to do with it, but it works really fast. Like I've tried creating in ChatGPT before, and my prompts are just not specific enough to allow it to give me what I want. I've tried creating in Canva Magic. I don't even think I understand Canva Magic. Like it's not good.
Yeah, I tried one time and I'm just like, oh, this isn't for me.
It's not good.
It's
I don't even
them girlies.
No, I've tried it like 3 times and I'm like, this is trash. But going to Gemini, and I use Google VO in Gemini, like I gave it the thing that I wanted it to do and it did it in 2 seconds. And then I would just be like, and this is little prompting, mind you. On the first day, I was able to create exactly what I wanted just from using this tool. So if you want something that's simple so that you don't have to try to like bust your brain, try to figure out what prompt to give it, try this Google Gemini, gemini.google.com. I put the link on the screen right here.
Yeah, and then you can also treat it like how you would talk to chat. It can do things like that. It can do things like that as well. It can do things like that as well.
Love it. Awesome. All right. So we should actually get ready to wrap up. I didn't realize it was 7:15, but we did good.
We did good. This is a great show. We always come through, you know?
Yeah. Did y'all enjoy the show? Y'all
Yeah.
were a little quiet, but I want to shout out Michael and Ranisha, who actually was like engaging. Y'all don't have to be afraid to drop a comment and say, love it, that y'all are doing a great job. You're talking about AI. You can also say that we look beautiful. We're okay with that too, right? But the more you engage, the more you share this live out, the more that YouTube will push it out so that others will be able to see it as well. So we can't build this show up on our own. We actually need your help to build this show up, unless we actually found an AI tool that can do all the work. Y'all about to be replaced. I'm about to take some AI avatars and put it in the audience. Had my avatars engaging like, y'all doing great. Keep going.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't exist in this second, it will.
It surely will. You want to talk about your boot camp?
Yes. So Monday, can't believe October is coming tomorrow. But next Monday, I am hosting a boot camp. It is 6 weeks. If you are somebody who has a product, who has a service, and you're not getting those consistent $5,000, $10,000 a month in sales, the boot camp is for you. We deal with mindset, right? I help you with your pricing to make sure you're pricing the right way. I help you understand your target audience, understanding not just demographics, but psychographics. I help you understand content and putting the right content out there that's going to bring in traffic. We also talk about email marketing, building a funnel. So 6 weeks, we meet live on Zoom on Mondays, 7 p.m. Eastern. It is a good time. It's very intimate, very small. We have 8 slots left. So if you are interested, definitely sign up. Don't wait. Like, we're getting into the holiday season. If you want to have your marketing in order, it's definitely the boot camp for you.
Love it. Love it. So the link was displayed on the screen. I want to drop the link also in the chat so that it can, just in case that if you want to click, you can just click that link right there to get access to it. It'll also be in the description. And then for those of you who want to join us in the AI Content to Cash Challenge, we are kicking off the challenge. And in it, we teach you how to create content that sells in 5 days or less, so that now when you're putting out your content on social media, you are attracting your dream clients. I just had a conversation with one of my clients, and when she first started working with us, she was suffering from perfectionism. That perfectionism hindered her from actually posting her video content. In the challenge, that perfectionism was broken off of her. So we don't just teach you marketing tools. We also have to break the things off of your mind that's hindering you from actually showing up. When that happened, sis booked 6 new clients in 1 month. Because some of you, the issue isn't your marketing, it's your mindset. And so in the challenge, we're able to help you to accomplish these things. We share with you video formulas so that you know how to show up on social media and you're able to actually create the content that sells. But in addition to that, we show you how to use the AI tools that's going to help you create the content faster, which is always the fun part, because who wants to sit here trying to figure out how can I create this content when I have to manage a team, when I have to run my business, when I have to take care of my children? If you're currently getting sales through word of mouth and referrals, you're constantly at networking events. So it's going to feel hard to create this content. We show you how to create content from your busy schedule using AI tools in the AI Content to Cash Challenge. The link is displayed on your screen, contenttocashchallenge.com. We have 2 levels, VIP and Diamond Experience. VIP, you get to join us live, right? And you get to ask your questions and we give you live answers. The Diamond Experience is only for the business owners who value exclusivity. You have built your wealth and it deserves to be taken care of. You deserve to be taken care of. You deserve to have special treatment. That's what the Diamond Experience is for. When you sign up for Diamond, you get a 30-minute elite content strategy session with me as soon as you sign up before the challenge actually starts. And then you get priority treatment in the challenge. But again, it's only for those who value exclusivity. If you want to be with everyone else in VIP, that's totally fine. But if you recognize I rather the extra treatment, then join us in Diamond Experience.
Yeah, well, I guess it's a wrap, my girl.
Ah, that was fun. I enjoyed this one. This is a good one.
This is a good one. I love what we just we have our little topics, but we just we flow.
Yeah, I do too. I love like how we're able to find the topics quick too. We didn't even have that 7.6 million. We actually had something else we were going to talk about.
Right.
I like the big ones. Awesome. All right. Y'all have a good one. We'll be back again next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern or 6-ish. We go live 6-ish. Y'all have a great one.